Can you tell I watched SpongeBob as a kid? Like, if I hadn't talked about it, would you be able to tell?
No. No, I never watched SpongeBob, so.
I know. You told me that. But, like, people were always like, oh, you can tell when kids watch SpongeBob when they were little, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm smart. Am I not?
No. I don't remember what I watched. I watched Lord of the Rings as a kid? Like, I don't know.
Girl, did you not watch any children's shows?
I probably watched some Sesame Street.
Valid.
I don't know.
No Wonder Pets, no Team Umizoomi. I think that's the one that came a little bit after you. No Tom and Jerry, no fucking Teen Titans. No.
I watched Tom and Jerry when I was like a teenager because my sister's obsessed with it, but
I was trying to think of other things I watched when I was a kid. No Blue's Clues. No Cat Dog. No Kipper.
I was like, I went to do something and I accidentally clicked the wrong tab, which was the Hannibal tab, and so it just started playing Hannibal.
Oh my god.
It's fine. Okay. I see what if I keep that in? Oh, that was funny.
What's that?
Hey, guess what? I have a book from NetGalley that came out today, and instead of reading that, I read this book.
Girl.
Uh-huh.
At least we're ahead, right?
Yes, we are very much ahead. We're basically, other than the Kraken spot, we're basically done for the month.
The way I'm technically ahead, but technically behind at the same time.
Same. Like, I'm ahead on both the podcast and vlogs, but I'm behind on everything else. Okay. Do you want to talk about this book?
Yes.
Hello, welcome to the Fish and Flower podcast, where my fan's on. We're dealing with it. I don't know what the...
I can't hear it, so if that makes you feel better.
Hell yeah!
I told you to leave it on this whole fucking time, and you're like, no, I'll just suffer. Like, bitch, I told you I cannot hear it. But you're like, yeah. No!
Hilariously, I'm gonna show you my phone. I was like, I wonder what the humidity level is. It's literally supposed to rain any moment now. That's the humidity level.
Can I have it? Can I have some?
It's raining almost every day. It's 78% humidity. That's how hot. And, like, this is a wooden, like, all my walls, my roof is wooden, and my floors are all carpeted. So it just feels suffocating whenever it's humid. Yep. So, like, my hand's all low,
scratched my finger, and it hurts really bad. Like, my hand is already full of scratches, but she just scratched some new ones, and now it really hurts. Thank you.
Wash it out.
If I die, I die.
Mood, but ma'am.
But see, the amount of times I've been injured and have not washed it out, I should be dead, but I'm not. If you catch my drift.
Yes.
Granted, my arm did get infected one time, but that was only one time, and it was fine. I'm normal.
Okay, on today's episode, we have, also my sister vacuuming right below me, Queen Takes Rose.
How long does it take to fucking vacuum? Because I know the rooms in your house aren't that big.
Trust me, I know. But anyways, Queen Takes Rose, the book, that's name I always forget, which means, oh my god, Bessie, I finished another series!
I'm so proud of you.
I am going to read the short stories before I label it as done, but I already, like, downloaded, sent it to my Kindle and whatnot. It's, like, 140 pages or something. So, I could read that in my sleep. Like, hello?
Yes. I feel like it's very important to mention before we go any further that I read this book before you did.
Yes, I was going to talk about that, because that journey was very funny when I woke up at 5 in the morning briefly and saw all that. Ooh. But this is, Fish and Flower Podcast. I'm Flower, aka Rose, and when you are listening to this, if you're listening to it as it comes out, like, as this episode goes out, I am trying to talk louder over the vacuum. I will be in the car on the way to Bessie's. It's officially happening. I'm going to Bessie's. I'm visiting Bestie.
Yes, Rose is going to leave me for a week. How will I survive?
It's not like I talk to you anyways. It's not like we're low-key planning to possibly record an episode while I'm there to have special guests or anything. Like,
sorry, I may be codependent or something.
It's
I don't
okay,
know.
so am I. It's okay.
I relate heavily to the Wicker King. I'm normal.
Aren't we all?
I'm okay.
Listen, I danced when certain people died in Mardire, so like...
Yeah, that's the only appropriate response to
literally it was 2 a.m.
dying in Mardire.
It was like, I think it was closer to 1:30, but it was like 1:30 in the morning, and finally that character died, and I was just like, in bed, just like... I wish I
You can play with that hair tie. Oh, you want kitty cat.
I wish
Okay,
I had
not
been
me.
recording it, so it would have been really funny.
I would have giggled. I would have hee-heed.
There is a time lapse of me finishing book 2, though, and let me tell you, it's funny.
I'm excited for this vlog that I made a thumbnail for.
Yes. Yes.
Please play away from me. You're trying to rip me apart in the process of you trying to play. It's not fun, bestie.
Do your intro.
Hi, my name is Fish, aka Stingray, and, I no longer have a window unit in my window, and I love looking out into my backyard. Also, I can spy on my dog easier now. Secondly, this was my 69th book of the year.
I still love that. It was my 102nd.
It's so funny. It's funnier for me, thank you. You'll never be able to top this.
Mardire number 3 was my 100th.
As it should be. Mardire, my beloved.
I think 69 for me was Smut, but I don't remember.
Stop playing with my charger!
No.
I'm sorry.
This is very much a stream of consciousness podcast, similar to how we talked.
You told me to wash off the cat scratch. I forgot I had water right here. I
my god.
sprayed myself. It's fine.
God.
I did it.
Yes, did I do that intro
I'm normal.
100% from memory because I did not pull up the document that has the intro? Yes.
I would hope so.
Listen, my recording thing has been acting weird whenever I switch out of, like, Google Chrome. Like, I checked Discord briefly and whatnot. It's, like, recording in the background. And I'm like, I sure hope you are, because it's supposed to be recording at all times when I click record. What the hell are you talking about? Like, it's never done that before. And I'm so confused. I don't want to mess it up by switching over to the document that has that. Now, you may be wondering, does that affect the notes that you have? The answer is, nah, bitch, I didn't take any.
I didn't take any either, don't worry.
We're doing this off the dome.
Nothing really happened. Like, it's very self-explanatory.
Yeah. Also, like, I finished it 2 hours ago. But I was busy. Listen, let me list off all the things I did while I read this book. I cleaned my whole entire room, which takes about half an hour, because, the vacuum I have for this room is actually just a handheld vacuum. To plug into the wall and whatnot. Which means it takes a bit. And I have to empty it out 5 times. I emptied my trash. I did 2 loads of laundry and folded all my clothes. And put them all away. I fixed the strap on one of my dresses, ripped off in the laundry. So fixed that. Fixed the seam on my cover for my heating pad. Fixed the hole in the seam on my quilt. I think that's it. I took a break in between, like, in the middle of vacuuming because my Bluetooth headphones, like, died, and I was like, well, fuck you. So I had to take a small break, but otherwise, like, yeah, I did a lot of shit that was not, taking notes. Like, normally I listen to, or play Stardew Valley at the same time. I did not have time.
You know what I did when I listened to this book?
Sent me messages on Instagram.
I didn't really send you that many. I scrolled through Instagram and, try not to fall asleep because I just laid there for a while listening to it.
Yeah.
Also, guess what speed I listened to it at?
What speed?
The majority of it I listened to 1.8, and then closer to the end I upped it to 2.
Wow! I did 3 times, but wow!
That's really fast for me, and it was still very understandable, but I think it's because of how the narrators narrated it.
Yeah.
So it was easy to make it go faster.
The narrator for Aurora did, I'm pretty sure, is the same one for Ursa in The Sea Witch, so that was fun. She started with her POV and with her voice, and I went, I know you. Yes, don't worry.
I know you. I know what you are.
Yes. I have things to say about the narrator, especially one of them. But first we're gonna talk about the
Yes.
messages that Stingray sent me. First thing this morning, I guess technically, and by first thing I mean like Stingray was apparently reading it at like 1 a.m. to like 3 a.m. their time.
I started it at midnight.
I have a wrap
Well,
on my
after
leg and
midnight.
it itches. um, yeah, no, I woke up, like, you know when you, like, wake up and you're half awake and you just, like, check your phone?
Yes.
I did that a little after 5, which is about 30 minutes after you sent me the last message, and the messages were Malone, sweating hot face, Malone's narrator, sweating hot face, and 10-second voice message saying, I think you'd really like this. And I went, bitch, why are you reading this now? I told you had a day or two. Why are you reading it at 1 in the morning? And then just messaged, but instead I just messaged lol and went back to sleep.
Listen, I wanted to be ahead, and I wanted to read, but I didn't want to read the Sun and Neptune, even though that's what I need to fucking read.
Yeah.
I don't know what my problem is. I don't know what's wrong with me in my head.
So many things. We don't got enough time to unpack that.
Wow. There's a 4.5 hour episode unpacking it. Don't worry.
Yes, I remember. I was there.
I wouldn't know. Oh, I missed a call from my mother over an hour ago. I
love that for you.
I keep missing her calls when she calls me during the day.
Good times. But yeah, that happened. Now, obviously spoilers for the book. Content warnings are pretty basic. It's, graphic, sexual content, death of parent, and grief, and then a little bit of violence. Like, that's it. Pretty basic. Now, we gotta talk about the other narrator. Wait a second. Let me pull up exactly what her name is. I looked her up, because the narrator from Malone. Okay? I went into the Malone chapter, first one, knowing Stingray was like, oh my god, Malone's narrator, and I went, let's see how this actually is.
Listen!
And then I listened for 14 seconds to this woman's voice, and I went, holy shit, I'm gayer somehow. Like...
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I had to look her up. Which, a lot of the books she narrates are Katee Roberts, especially the indie published / self-published ones. Like, there's a lot of them that are, like, my best friend's brother, or my brother's best friend, or whatever. And my ex's dad, or, like, gifting myself to my ex's father.
I'm sick.
Yeah, that one day I will read for the podcast, because I've heard...
And you know what? I would read them too if I could hear her say it.
She narrates most of them, and these are, like, more taboo than erotica, I feel like. I don't know, but, the people who introduced me to Katee Robert in general, told me to read those books as well, and I was, like, on a fence about it, and so then I saw that she narrates most of them, and I went, oh, I need them. But then also, wait a second, let me pull up what exactly is her degree in. Her name's Jenny Nordback. When I went to Google her name, I saw dominatrix, and I went, excuse me, what? And I was like, this isn't the same Jenny Nordback, is it? No, it is. She has a bachelor's in interdisciplinary archaeology. Dude, that's a mouthful. And she went to...
The way this narrator has us giggling and kicking our feet.
Yeah, I know, right? And she, like, worked in healthcare for a bit. But she also goes by the name Scarlet and is a dominatrix.
You know...
Yeah, so, you know, also, I don't know if you've looked up pictures of her.
I haven't.
Oh my god.
Should I? Should I?
Let me just send you one. Let me just send you the first
Do I need
one
to see
that
the
pops up.
saws?
Let me see
the saws, bestie.
Let me just send... Why? Instagram won't let me send photos on desktop right now.
Rude.
This is the first photo that pops up.
I forgot her hair is red.
And then this is another one, this is one of the other main ones that pops up,
because I was gonna be disappointed if she would buy Scarlet, but her hair wasn't red. But her hair is red, so it's all is well in the world.
Here's another one.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I got it. I got it. I understand.
Do you understand? Do you
I
understand?
understand. I get it. I got it. I understand the concept. Yep.
So, yeah, basically both, Stingray and I are sipping over this one, woman, but also Malone. It's fine. It's fine that I understand that I will never have, just a strong, powerful gay woman to protect me. Also beg me on.
Malone is blonde, too.
Yeah, I know, right?
And you really like blondes.
I know. I love strong blondes that could kill me, and she literally kills people. Is super strong. She straight up carries Aurora multiple places. And
listen, I don't prefer blondes, but if Malone was in the room with me, well...
Dude, one of the first times that we see Malone in this book, she's, like, wearing this blouse, but, like, it's unbuttoned most of the way. And
like the illustrated cover!
And I went, oh my god.
Every time I think of the illustrated cover, I foam at the mouth.
Me too. That's how I got Stingray to read this one. The illustrated cover. I was just looking at the illustrated covers one day. Which is great. Also, like, the illustrated covers, she has officially released on Instagram and whatnot what the illustrated covers for the Dark Olympus series are going to be. I am, I think I sent them to you. I don't know if you remember the one with the woman in gold with, like, her hair in, like, a halo type thing with two men, like, down her.
I didn't open the link.
Fucking bitch. That's the throuple one that you want to read.
Oh, my bad. I don't remember what was going on that day, but, like, I would have opened it on it probably any other day.
But yes, of course, they were also recording. This is the day that Cruel Seduction comes out. So, like, I went on Instagram knowing that I was probably going to read this book because Stingray already read it, and I was like, well, we can record the episode early then, and then saw that all over the place, and I went, oh my god.
Well, it's kind of funny because, like, the name is Queen Takes Rose, so that would imply Malone would be taking you. How do you feel about that, Bestie?
Hell yeah, we love it, icon. Also, this is the first book that starts with a Q that I've read this year, which means it fits into my alphabet reading challenge, which is great because I have like 7 letters left, and I'm like, I don't know what to do for Z and V and K. Actually, I do.
I feel like there's a lot of books that start with K.
I don't know. There's like, I think I decided which one I'm gonna do. I don't remember which one is the one that I don't know what I'm gonna do for it, and I'm just like,
I should try an alphabet challenge one year. I feel like that'd be fun.
It's a fun time. At this point, I just
imagine if I did it in the last half of the year instead of taking all year to do it.
At this point, I just put every single, because like there's the storygraph challenges, right? And I just throw all of them in there. Every single book I read, and then usually in December I'll like probably look at it and be like, okay, how close to being done am I? But yeah, that's this book. Queen Takes Rose. Gays. Aurora is officially in every single one of these books. I find that fucking hilarious.
Yes.
So I don't know if you remember the fact that her mother was in a coma from one of the previous books.
No, I didn't remember that, and it just opened with her pulling the plug on her mother. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, so no, learn my lesson.
Hold on. Before we get any further into this, I feel like I should announce the fact that Rose bullied me into keeping my rating a 4-star because, and I quote, Malone wouldn't like it, and I was like, you know what, you right.
Yeah, no, so, near the end of Learn My Lesson, you remember when, Meg was kidnapped by Zeus, and he got her by,
yes.
threatening Aurora? There's, like, one line in that book where, it's, like, Aurora, when he took Aurora, let Aurora go, she went to the hospital to probably check on her mother. So, like, that's, like...
Bro, I didn't read that book. Did you even reiterate that fact in the episode?
Yes!
Oh. I don't remember a damn thing. Is that the one we had to record twice?
No. Maybe? I think so, actually, yes. That's the one with the great A scene with Hercules where Zeus said, or
Yes,
where Hades
yes,
said,
yes, yes, yeah, yeah.
hear me out. Why are my 3 favorite books in this series the ones where a parental figure or an important member of their family was killed by the love interest? And so, or something like that, and so then, like, it's their romance around that. Like, Jafar killed Jasmine's father. Hercules' father killed Hades' wife and child. Um, and then in this one, Malone killed Aurora's mother. Apparently, the background is Aurora's mother was in charge of the territory that Malone is currently in charge of, right? Malone comes from...
The way I understood all this, even though I didn't know about basically anything about any of this going in, is I'm so smart. Big brained, for real.
Malone comes from this area called Sabine. It is, I'm pretty sure, the same universe. So, like, Olympus is its own universe as well in its own book series, and I think there's one around Sabine, but it's like on hiatus indefinitely, and there's only 2 books out. And I do plan to read those later on this year for the podcast. Good times.
Didn't I already make the graphics for those, even though it's months
yes,
away?
Yes. So I think that's what it is. Basically, Sabine, or not Sabine, Malone comes from the Amazons there. Her mother was the leader of a big territory there, because Amazons, and she's like the youngest, or the second born, so like, they were both raised, her and her sister, to like, run the territory, but her sister, was able to do it, so, it was either like, she's never been able to not be in charge and something, so she was either like, I either gotta like take control of my sister's territory and go against my own sister, or go somewhere else. So she went to Carver City, which is where these books take place, found the most in trouble area and whatnot, which happened to be the one that Aurora's mother was running, and there was like this whole fight, where she kicked her down on the ground, and then she kicked her head multiple times after she was already out. And there's like, it's not known whether or not the last kick was the one that put her in a coma. But basically, the book starts with Aurora after 20 years of having her mother on life support pulling the plug. As you can imagine, an emotional time.
Yeah, that was very jarring. I just start this book and it's like, oh, I'm gonna pull the plug on my mom.
Yeah. Apparently she didn't really know her mother. She was mostly raised by her grandmother and all this stuff. But like, still sad time. So she goes back to, I wanted to say Olympus, but the underworld. There we go. God.
Do you know what happens in this book, Bestie?
Yes. And basically we learned that in 2 weeks her contract is coming to an end and whatnot. Basically her contract was something to do with paying for her mother and her child, and not her child support, her life support and stuff like that. And so Hades instantly calls her into his office. He does not know that her mother is dead at this point. Like, she's pulled the plug, officially. Mm-hmm. And there's like a whole thing where she's like questioning if he's gonna kick her out like he did to Tink, and he's like, no. It's hinted that he is almost like fatherly protective of her. And it's like, it's weird, but it's like not that weird, because like in previous books he's like straight up had sex with her. Like, we've seen him have sex with her, and whatnot. But yeah.
Why did you describe it like that? That made it sound so much worse.
I know, but that's what it is. He met her when she was like 13 and all this stuff. Yeah. But basically he's like, no, you can continue to work
I feel like
here.
you should mention the fact, yes, they did meet when she was 13, but they had no contact.
I mean, that's
after that.
Later on point. That's a later on point. Don't worry.
The way you're describing it makes it sound weird. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, it's so weird, no matter what I say.
Okay, you can make it sound less weird, is what I'm trying to say.
But, he says that she can stay on. He will take less of her paycheck, basically, because she won't be his anymore at that point, but she can stay on, continue working there, because he knows, like, this is her family and stuff like that. and all that, but also Malone has requested her for the last 2 weeks of her employment. And it's like a thing where like her and Malone had a scene a few years back, and it was like very hot and spicy. But also Aurora felt like she was like breaking down all her barriers in the process and all this stuff, and could like see her into her soul. It's like everyone knows that Malone has had a thing for her since then. Yeah. And so Aurora's like, hot take, what if I kill Malone?
Every time that came up, I rolled my eyes so hard.
She's like, what if I kill Malone for killing my mom? Which, like, valid. I get it.
I don't.
Hades does not, know this thought process. So he's like, yeah, she requests you, you can say no easily. And she's just instantly like, yes, because this is her plan. She's gonna, like, use it to get close to her and then stab her or something. And he's, like, very, like, protective, like, no, you shouldn't do this, and all this stuff. Eventually, she gets him to agree to let her do it. He brings Malone in, and he's like, okay, this is what's gonna happen. There's rules in place. You cannot do any of this stuff, with her, including, water play. And a few other things, and also...
You know, I love how you attached on to them not being allowed water play, but I latched on to the fact they couldn't do blood or knife play. I think that says a lot about us as people.
Yeah, also, Hades is like, I will send, I think her name's Electra, the head of his security, which also happens to be Aurora's, like, best friend, to check on her after a week, so... That's gonna be a thing. And Malone's like, sure, cool, whatever.
Listen, I want to know more about the friend. I can't lie.
Aurora leaves with her. All the stuff. It's basically a lot of Aurora being more bratty, and standoffish than she normally is as a submissive. And Malone knows this because Malone, like, has watched her for years and knows this. And she, like, likes that feistiness. And whatnot, and she doesn't fully understand why it's towards her. She's like, you hate me, and I don't know why, but, like, let's go for it. There's a lot of, like, back and forth of, like, power dynamics, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? What matters is that she bathes her.
I love how you're like, yeah, they, oh my god. I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right, you can't right.
I know. Like, does it really matter? No, what matters is that she bathes her. And also, she has bought all the skin and, like, beauty products, like, even the favorite lotion of Aurora's, so that she has it there. And also, a bunch of clothes are in the closet that are specifically Aurora's size and all this stuff. And at one point, Aurora's... Like,
and style.
Yes. And at one point, she brings this up, and she's like, your clothes. And Malone's like, no, they're your clothes. Like, when you leave, you can have them.
Damn, I want someone to do this for me.
I know,
like,
right?
Where are Malones? Hello?
I know. Yeah, there's, like, a lot of power stuff. Malone's, second in command / head of security is, another Amazon. Most of her security people are other Amazons that came with her. And, they... the head of security, they are very protective of her. That's about all you gotta know about them. Good times. We learn that Malone's family is kind of in trouble. There's, like, some stuff in Sabine where some, people came back after, being kicked out or something. I just overheard my sister yelling at the dog. His dog keeps bringing toys into her room that she just cleaned.
That's funny. That is so real.
I know, right? So,
I need to check on Ibby.
So, these guys were, like, kicked out of Sabine or something like that, and, so they did, like, the normal track that you have to do in Sabine to get power and whatnot to go against the Amazons, and they won. And so, basically, there's this thing where, Malone's nieces and nephews are, like, basically kind of sex slaves to these brothers for a year, and her sister no longer has, like, is the head, and it's, like, this whole power struggle thing that's happening, and she's not supposed to help out, and all this stuff, yeah, and I'm pretty sure that other series is about them, so good times. It's just
fun.
It's a good holy time.
That series has good covers though. The ones that are out for now.
Yeah.
I like those covers.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that. She does eventually talk to Aurora about this. I think it's like when she takes her out on a dinner date to this like really fancy restaurant, and they get like a private room.
And guess what it's called?
I don't remember what's it called.
It's Spindle.
Right, yeah.
Cause it's Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah. Also, Aurora's the safe word is thorn. Good times.
Where's my dog?
I don't know.
I can't see her out my window. That means she's on the side of in front of the other part.
They do have conversations. In general, like most of the time, it's like Malone trying to get Aurora to actually talk to her, and then it's Aurora twisting it on Malone, and Malone just like talking about her family and how she's stressed about it and worried about them and all this stuff. And throughout the time of this happening, these conversations happening, Aurora learns that Malone is a person with like a heart, and
who would have thought?
Not just the woman who killed her mother, you know. Good times. I think also at this dinner date is when she learns that at least someone close to Aurora died recently. It's like hinted that she assumes it's the grandmother, but the grandmother died like 6 years ago. So like she has no family anymore and all this stuff. Good times. Oh my god, it's a puppy. Is that gonna be Ray? Wagon Hotel.
I found her outside. I thought I'd keep her.
Oh!
I mean, that's technically what happened. She was founded outside, and they decided to keep her.
She's a little baby.
She really is. That's why we decided to keep her. We're so sweet. We're so sweet and silly. We decided to keep her.
Yeah, so that's happening. Other things. Malone has a cat. It's an evil, evil white cat that,
exactly like my cat, but my cat is not white.
Yeah. When it breaks into, the spare bedroom that Aurora sleeps in, and so when they go on this dinner date, it pees all over the bed. All over the bed, it ruins it. But also, Aurora likes to work out. Especially this, like, normally she's, like, working, like, she's helping out Meg stuff with stuff around the club, because she's, like, her assistant and whatnot. So, like, she's like, what do I do with my time now? So she goes to work out, and she sees, a boxing ring, where, Malone and her second-in-command / head of security are sparring. And she's like, hot damn. Malone gets very distracted very fast, as soon as she walks into the room. And Aurora's like, I want to spar, and Malone's like, I'll find someone, and she's like, nah, I'll spar with you, and so Malone's like, okay, I'll go easy on you, and then, boom, Aurora actually fucking, like, fights her, and, like, actually knocks out, oh my god, is that an album, of Lover I saw there?
Yes, that was not the point. Ebby was in my bed, and then a cat got in my bed, and then Ebby left because the cat got in my bed. But yes, album on vinyl, it's so sad.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, so she like always kicks out Malone's leg. She gets one jab in Malone's face, and whatnot. And Malone's like, oh my god. I want to get
punched in the face by a pretty woman.
I know, right? Malone's like, oh my god, like, you're good. And she's like, yeah, I've done, like, her best friend who's the head of Haiti security, like, taught her, and trained her and whatnot. So like,
I want to know more about the best friend. Like, goddamn.
I know, right? Also, I would like to know, when Aurora brought up the idea that she's gonna kill Malone, she brought it up to her, and the best friend was like, I'll kill her for you. Like, please don't do this. I wish I had friends like that. Why don't you offer to kill anyone for me?
'Cause I don't need to ruin my life even more. Jeez. Like, I wouldn't tell if you did it. I would just make a podcast episode about it once you got caught. We already established this.
Not the when I get caught.
You can't drive because you get motion sickness, and the only closest woods to hide a body is the woods by your house, and that means if they find the body in your woods by your house, you're one of the main suspects, so yeah, when you get caught.
Yeah. So they're they spar. Eventually Malone ends up straddling her on like the mat and whatnot. And then basically it's like, get yourself off on me.
Mhm.
You can picture how that happened.
Also, your reaction, the way I can see your reactions to these things, that was so funny.
Listen,
You're just,
it was a good scene. Fight me.
I mean, the whole thing was nice. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nothing, just yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I already talked about the restaurant date. There's like a bunch of stuff where she tries to talk to Aurora, and where Aurora, also like the employee at the restaurant who like shows them to their table and whatnot, is someone who Malone has slept with, and Aurora automatically recognizes this, and it's like obviously she's jealous, but also she's like, you have sex with people and then just like drop them like there's no tomorrow, and it's kind of an asshole because then like now she has to like work and see you, and you aren't even bothered to even look at her, let alone talk to her, like stuff like this. And Malone assumes it's because of the time when they did a scene together like years ago, and then she never attempted to have one with Aurora again, despite clearly having an interest for her. It does not. It's mostly jealousy, but also like it's a little bit of like, wow, she's a bitch, despite realizing that like all of her employees are actually like really well paid, and they have like dental, and imagine having dental.
For real! Imagine having anything.
And all that stuff. And so, she's like, well, fuck. Like, they have good benefits. You know, just a good time. Listen, hear me out. I get it's a life of crime. But you've got some grade A benefits, and I wouldn't be mad about it. Like, let's go. I'll commit crimes for benefits.
I mean, yeah, but like, I feel like she could do the bare minimum and like actually speak to these people. I don't know.
No. That's too much work.
Wow. I understand both sides of this conversation, is what I'm saying.
Yes. So, yeah, it's a good time.
Because who would have thought people can have nuanced thoughts about things?
No. Malone is starting to realize she wants to keep Aurora. She also recognizes that if Aurora would be in a long-term relationship, there's, like, the thing where she would continue going to the underworld because, like, she likes it there. It's her happy place, stuff like that. So, like, it's not going to be a monogamous thing, it's going to be poly, and that's just something the person who Aurora is going to be with has to accept, which is like a big deal because Aurora previously dated two people. One of them was a girl named Hazel, and I don't remember the guy's name. And there was like apparently at one point the guy didn't realize like it's a hinted that like they were into her because like a little sub, but then like when she continued the work that like intrigued them to her, they got really angry, and he especially like showed up to the club and started threatening people because like she was still doing her job, having sex
I feel
with
like
people.
you wouldn't like this. And I don't like it either, but okay. Sorry.
Okay. So, why are you on Instagram Reels? Best.
I'm not on Reels. I'm just on my Explore page. I saw that video yesterday, too, last night.
I kill myself. Why did you send that to me?
Because I have to see it twice.
I already hate the dentist, and then I also hate fish and water stuff. And you just combined both of those in one. I gotta go kill myself real quick, because no, I don't want to,
I know. Thank you for sharing that pain with me. I love you.
I'm gonna watch What About the Puppy instead. Hell yeah. I wish I had a dog. Alright, where was I in this book? Yeah, so at this point, Malone knows that Aurora has lost someone important recently, and whatnot. They return to the place. She was planning to, like, do this whole scene with Aurora when they got back, but, like, she realizes that, like, with the deep conversation they had about their families and their past and whatnot, that it was like a very emotionally charging time, and so doing sexually stuff with pain probably not the best idea. So she's like, go to bed. And then there's pee all over the bed. So Malone's like, yeah, he does that. It's fine. I'll have someone replace it. Until then, sleep in my bed. And Aurora's like, no, just kick me on the couch. Like, it's fine. And she's like, no, come in my fucking bed. So then they cuddle.
Hear me out. I feel like that's how the relationship between me and this cat's gonna be. Like, this cat is gonna be the worst cat in the world. But, like, in a couple years' time, it's just gonna be like, oh, whatever, I'll replace 8 pieces of furniture in one singular year.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine, I'm fine.
Yeah, no, so they cuddle, basically Aurora just basically ends up on top of her, and then they have, morning sex in bed, very sweet, honestly. Yeah, and this is at the point where Aurora's officially like, oh fuck, I'm falling in love. Or not Aurora, Malone. Aurora's at this point is like, oh fuck, I don't think I can kill her.
Normal things, normal sentences.
Yeah, so Malone has to go do office work and whatnot, so she's like, I got you a phone, it has my phone number in it. I want you to record yourself orgasming 6 times, but only
Can we talk about the fact Malone was almost late for all her shit that morning?
Yes, but only of your face when you orgasm 6 times while I'm gone. And so first, when she leaves, she calls up her bestie, and she's like, I don't think I can actually kill her. And her bestie's like, dude, just come home then. And she's like, yeah, but I don't want to leave. Valid. So then she does start recording herself and sending them, but then the third one.
Why did I thought?
Mhm.
I saw this ad and I thought I all I seen was the F and Rays. I was like, why me? Hello? No, it's Shady Rays.
I'm sick. So, the third one, she decides to do a video call instead, to Malone. She does the other 3, yeah. I believe they eat dinner together at this point, and
It was
Aurora,
lasagna.
yes, and at this point, Aurora says that, the person who died was her mother, and it was very recent, and she hasn't been able to grieve about it, like, she hasn't been able to cry about it, and so Malone's like, okay, and takes her into the, sexy time room, and, I said that, but then all I can think of is that scene of 50 Shades of Grey when he opens up the playroom.
I've never seen 50 Shades of Grey, so.
Good, don't watch it. Hilariously,
I'm surprised your reaction was, I'm like, okay, let me force you to watch it for the podcast.
No, I don't want to watch them again. The one with the helicopter crash, the third one also, the second and third one are just so chaotic, it's funny, but also the romance is so boring. I like the chaos of, like, the helicopter crash, the kidnapping, the, blackmail.
I feel like you should read it for the podcast.
No, I'm not. Never again. I read the first one once. I'm good.
Why did you read it?
Because my best friend in high school, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Their older sister went off to college, and she was going through, like, the stuff that was left in her room and whatnot, and found it between the wall and the mattress. She was like, "Ooh, let's read it."
That's because that's normal behavior with that type of best friend.
Mhm. Yeah. So, basically, they have fun times. It leads up to using the cane. Basically, the point of it is to, like, make Aurora reach a height so high that she just finally lets it all out, and she ends up straight up sobbing in Malone's arms. I should mention, like, all the time Malone is just carrying her around. And at one point, like, it initially starts with Aurora being like, no, I don't like that. To, like, at one point, Malone's like, can you stand up? And Aurora's like, yes, but what if I don't want to walk over there? What if I want you to carry me? And Malone's just like, But, yeah, basically she carries her into, like, the bed, and she, like, sobs on Malone's shoulder, literally ruining her blouse, and she apologizes afterwards, and Malone's like, dude, it's fucking fine, I do not care, I'm happy that I got to be here for you. Also, during the sex scene, she calls her love twice, at this point she has accepted that she loves her, and, I don't think Aurora ever realized this, yeah,
Meanwhile, I was bashing my head against the wall when that happened.
Yeah. She's like, let it all out, love. Also, when the, like, after sobbing hiccups happen, Malone's heart just breaks for her. Wait till she finds out it's because of her. Fine.
The real question is, why does crying really hard make you hiccup?
I don't know.
That's the real question. I've always wondered about that.
So, basically, time passes, there's another sex scene.
I gotta Google this shit.
I don't know. Okay. There's another sex scene, in the sparring mat, basically it's them growing closer. Malone talks to, like, her friends, like Ursa and her second command, and basically, realizes she should just go for it and accept her feelings for Aurora and try, and stuff like this. And so they're sitting, I think, on the balcony drinking wine or something, and Malone's like, says, I care for you, I want to be with you. And Aurora goes, I have to tell you about my past, because, oh no, I think there's, like, 2 days left in their time together. There's, like, a time jump, it's not important. So basically, she tells her about how, she asks her about how she got in charge of the territory, and she's like, oh, there's this woman who was, like, not good at her job, and not good at running the territory, and I realized she would be really easy to take out, so I, killed her, or basically killed her, and she's like, yeah, but she was already, like, knocked out, so, like, you didn't have to go any further, and she's like, yeah, but I know not to turn my back on an enemy, and leave an enemy
Hello.
Oh my god,
Hello,
not you doing the robot
Googled.
thing.
Oh my god. It's not me, it's Instagram, I swear to god.
I know.
I don't want to hang up on you. I found the answer to the hiccup thing, and found the answer to the hiccup thing. I clicked on the first result, the Reddit post. So, it's caused by muscle spasms and of the diaphragm and throat, which makes sense.
Yeah. Where was I? Oh yeah, so, like, she talked about how she knows not to leave an enemy behind, and she's like, well, that's kind of rude. At this point, Malone's, like, thinking about how, like, this woman never had any children, so, like, it was perfect because, like, she didn't have any children. There was no one to miss her, all this stuff, and then she realizes, shit, Aurora knew her somehow, and so she's like, who was she to you? And she's like, oh, my mother? And Malone's like, wait a second, I, like, looked into that. She did not have kids. And she's like, oh, she did. I was just living with my grandmother to be safe, and stuff. And then you killed my mom. And then also there's, like, she brought up at one point that she was 13 when she first went to Hades, and Malone was ready to fucking beat up Hades over this. Like, she was ready to go after him. But, like, the whole story is, like, she was, like, 13 when this happened to her mom, and so she went to Hades, and Hades is like, okay, come back to me when you're 21, here's a shit ton of money so you can, like, live, and, so that your mother's hospital bills will be paid, and then come back to me when you're 21, and you will work for me for, I think it's like 10 years or something like that, or 9 years or whatever. It's 10 years, but she doesn't go to him until multiple months after her 21st birthday. She has, like, a bachelor's in, like, business and whatnot. Like, she's actually smart and knows things, unlike me. So...
What? Oh my god. I'm gonna throw something at you.
Well, it's okay, because I wouldn't be able to hear it because you're such a robot.
I'm hanging up on you.
Every night if I dream about by myself.
Hi, bestie. Is that better?
Yes. I love how Instagram just does this sometimes. It's whenever you close Instagram to do something else. It's when it happens, I'm pretty sure.
Instagram hates me. It's okay.
Instagram hates us all. It doesn't send my messages half the fucking time. It's a good time. It's a good time. Oh yeah, so like yeah, so she's like, oh shit, I killed your mom. And instead, like, she's internally like, okay, I should like feel bad because I killed her mom, and all this stuff, but also, oh my god, that means she came here to kill me. How did you plan to do it? Well, fuck you for coming to kill me because I loved you. Here's all the ways that your mom was kind of the worst, and that's why she deserved to die. Obviously, Aurora's not happy. Aurora leaves. Goes back to Hades. Bestie there is all like, listen, do I have to burn her place down? We also learned when I think this is officially where we learn when I think it was Learn My Lesson, Pan beat up Tank. That time. Aurora burnt his place down.
Hear me out. My third favorite arsonist.
Listen, an icon, honestly. Yeah, she's like a
The way I have a whole list of favorite arsonists at this point.
I love that for you. Mine's President Snow.
You mean your first one isn't August Bateman? Get the fuck out of here.
No, obviously I love it when President Snow dropped a bomb on District 12 and then hits a ball of coal everywhere. So the whole place
Listen, the difference between my arsonist and your arsonist is that mine are actually redeemable as people.
Well, mine's also a joke answer, so it's fine.
So, no, we're not letting that slide. I'm sorry.
Why not? I'm pretty sure the Hunger Games, at least the first one, is currently free on... I love how it calls it a film trilogy. When you look up the Hunger Games, and it's like, fam.
Yeah.
But I know the first one's currently free on YouTube.
When are we gonna watch it together?
Never.
Wow.
So
I'll just watch it by myself.
Catching Fire. Oh my god, I think
all of them are... I'm gonna go watch Catching Fire.
They're all free on
YouTube
YouTube right now. Oh.
I knew I knew about the first one because you told me, but you didn't know if the rest of them were. Why would you tell me if the rest of them were? I've only seen the part 2 like twice.
I've seen them all like a dozen times. I have issues.
Do you know how many times I've watched Catching Fire?
Oh, so many times. It's the greatest fucking movie. Like,
more than I've watched the first one, and I only had the first 2 on DVD forever.
I have all of them on DVD somewhere. It's like it came.
I mean, I have all of them on DVD together, but
I think I
can only watch the first 2.
I think we have the same poster from the movie.
Like, and I had like Mockingjay Part 2 posters. I don't know what happened to them. No, Part 1. Like, it was like Katniss, Gale, and somebody else, like in the uniforms, you know?
Yeah. The only poster I know the location of is my Wonder Woman one. Because I'm me.
Well.
Oh wait, here's a funny story about that poster.
So, and I have more in my closet.
My funny story about that poster is my junior year college dorm when I was rooming with Bestie, right? It was like a really small building. We were on the top floor, and so part of the room was slanted, the roof of it, because it was like the actual ceiling, right? The actual
Somebody's
roof,
calling.
Right? No. Fuck them.
I'm not gonna answer it anyway. It's spam.
Okay.
Why would anyone call me?
I don't know. But most of the part of the roofing that was slanted was over my bed, which means the direct angle of the Wonder Woman poster that I've had on my wall happened to be, because the only place I could put it on that wall, quote unquote, was on that roof, right? Which means technically the whole time she was just staring directly at Bestie. And we still talk about it occasionally, about how I just had Wonder Woman watching her while she slept.
That's kind of funny.
And then at one point she went to a bunch of yard sales, because she loves going to yard sales, and she saw a bunch of Wonder Woman stickers and bought them for me. As well as a Kylo Ren temporary tattoo, which then I instantly put on my chest, like right here, and then for like a whole week I just had that right here.
Oh, yeah. So
for like a whole fucking week, no matter what, you could just see part of this Kylo Ren fake tattoo, and it would just slowly start falling apart and all this stuff. To keep it last longer, fun fact, what I did was, face powder, you know, that you do on your
Yes.
face to like mattify stuff, because you're like supposed to put baby powder on it, but I don't fucking own baby powder, right? So, but I did have translucent face powder, so I put it on there and it worked pretty good. I kept it there for a good week before it started peeling up, and it was very funny. It was just a thing that was happening. I was like wearing a flannel that day too, and that's why I think it ended up right here.
Of course you were wearing a flannel that day.
You're not wrong. I was like, when I was deciding when I was like doing my laundry, right? I was like, I don't know how many flannels I should take when I go to Bestie's, and then I went.
Oh my
all
god.
Of them. I went all of them, or at least the main two I like to wear. So, you know, that's me. Where were we in this actual book?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, she returns back to the underworld. Yeah, so, Bestie's like, do I have to kill anyone? She's like, no, I didn't kill her, but, like, she's heartbroken, and she's like, she's like, do you want to drink, or do you want to spar? And she's like, both, and she's like, okay, you talk to Hades, and then we will spar, and then we will drink a shit ton. She goes into Hades' office. Hades is pissed, because, like, 2 days after she went, with Malone, he learned that she had pulled the plug on her mother, because he was the one paying for it. He went to pay for, all the stuff, and the hospital was like, actually, like, you don't need to pay because she's not here anymore because she's dead. And he went, excuse me? And he was like, bitch, the fuck? Now sit your ass down, drink some whiskey, and we gonna have a conversation. Where he's very much like, hey, I get it, she is the person who killed your mom, but, like, also, we have all done, bad things, like, you can't just say that she has, and all this stuff, and also, like, do you want the actual truth, or do you want the lie that I've been giving you all this time? Your mother, kind of actually the worst, and mistreated a lot of people, a lot of innocent people got hurt because of the way she was ruling, and all this stuff, and now Malone's taken over. It's, like, really well done. Like, does it have to be done like this, all this stuff? No, but, like, it was the way things were done, and you have to live with it, all this stuff. And also, she learns, in this conversation, that the first 3 years, before she officially made the deal with Hades, that, the person who paid for those first 3 years of her mother's hospital bills, because they do not, like, they won't, if there's, like, a random person in a hospital, they don't, like, just leave them on life support indefinitely, like, especially when they're brain dead, they will eventually pull the plug, but they didn't because someone was paying for them not to, and that person was Malone the whole time. Yeah, so he's like, okay, I'm gonna go, you think about this, and, Aurora's like, well, shit, so she texts Malone, and she's like, listen, I care for you, and so as long as you actually do care for me, I need time to think, and then we'll talk. And then 2 weeks pass. Malone has basically been in a slum. She's wallowing in her sadness. Her security people make a joke about, like, harming Aurora, like making her fall down the stairs or something by accident. And she's like, no one fucking hurt her. Make it known. Like, even if she's not gonna be with her, the idea of her being out there somewhere is, you know, makes her happy. Aw.
Yep.
Just, you know, the ugly crying meme, you know the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one? I have 27.
The one. You know that one?
Sure.
Yeah, so that happens.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So, then the security person's like, fine, whatever, but, like, also, since you love her, like, I guess I'll tell you that she's actually here to talk to you. And Malone's like, shit, why did you not tell me? She's like, well, if you didn't actually love her, then I would have sent her away. And all this jazz. So, Malone's like,
sorry.
Malone's like, sent her up to the penthouse and whatnot. But also, like, hear me out. If we get into a fight, you're not allowed to fucking kill her. And she's like, fine, I guess. Like, security people are, like, annoyed by this because, like, how dare she make it so they can't kill her lover, girlfriend, partner, whatever. There is a brief conversation that happens, where they both want kids, fun fact, which is very important.
Why, before they have sex, I was like,
Yeah,
I don't. That's a weird conversation we're having right now, but go off, I guess.
No, because, like, Malone is all like, I do have the money and the resources to have kids if I want them and all this stuff. And I do. I've just been waiting, and for, I don't know what. Obviously, that person's Aurora, because I know this because they have 2 kids. I know this because Katie Robert is currently doing, like, a second-gen, story collection thing, on her Patreon right now.
Yes.
That's her secret project right now. And, the first one's, like, one of Jasmine and Jafar's kids. And it's, like, a retelling of the 12 dancing princesses, and whatnot. Yeah.
I love the 12 Dancing Princesses. I don't know how. I'm so sad because I lost my Barbie movie of it, and I still haven't found it, and I don't know if I ever will, and it's so sad.
Boo.
But also, House of Salt and Sorrows is the 12 Dancing Princesses.
Yes,
We all know how I feel about that.
Yes, I know this. Yeah, so because of that, she, like, posted a graphic with, like, all the couples and, their children. I think the only ones that do not have kids is Hades, Hercules, and Meg, because, like, both Hades and Meg don't want kids. Like, that's the only ones. Yeah, I know they have 2 kids. Good times. But basically, Aurora's like, listen, you still care for me, I still care for you, I came back for you, I hope you know that, like, I am not a monogamous person, I'm poly, I will continue to work at the club, I will do less hours, but, like, it's going to be what I do. And Malone's like, yeah, I know this about you. Like, I don't care. And she's like, okay, cool. And then they kiss, and they're happily ever after, and, yeah. That's basically how it is. They get back together, recognize their greatness together, you know, good times. Yeah. It was a good time. I rated it 4 stars. I was also bullied.
Yes. I was also bullied into rating it 4 stars, even though I want to rate it 3.75.
Every time there was a sex scene and it was from the point of view of Malone, I suddenly became 10 points gayer. So, you know.
Me too, even though I'm already as gay as I could get, unlike you.
Every time that happened, I had the sudden urge to throw on a flannel and a bunch of rings.
Me looking at the rings I wear constantly, like, in the fucking lesbian flag on my wall, like, it's literally right in front of me, because it's, like, right in front of my bed, the way I face, you know? So, like, I look at it, I was like, it was dark, but I knew it was there. I could feel it looming above me.
I have rings over here, actually. I forgot about that. One of them I think is broken. No, none of these are the broken one. The broken one I threw out. I remember this now. I can just throw on these random
You threw out something broken like a normal person would? Oh my goodness.
I know, right?
Lots of people I know can't relate.
My mother?
Yeah. My mother? Yeah.
No, I was saying my mother.
Yeah, and I said my mother, too.
Now I can flip you off in rings.
I can only flip you off in one ring, because I only wear one on my middle finger. Thank you very much.
Well, this one technically fits better on my ring finger, but then I was like, that's weird, so...
Listen,
yeah.
I had my Moonstone ring because low-key Twilight, but it's not a Twilight replica. I wear it on the same hand and finger as Bella. I'm normal. But also just because I wanted it. And then I bought my other one, that I wear on my middle finger. It says this too shall pass on the inside. It's beautiful. And it's covered in flowers. Did you know that?
Yes.
But, like, I bought it and I knew I was specifically going to wear it on my middle finger on my other hand, and that's where it fits perfectly, so, you know.
Yeah. Anyways, this book, 4 stars. Great time. Sex scenes great, the conversations and the backstories and just the romance in general, great. Also, apparently, I just really like when Katie Robert writes a book where, like, the other person has something to do with the death of the other person's, family member, and then they get together. Like, I don't know why I like that so much, but I do.
Did we learn something about you today, bestie?
I'm a whore.
Well, yeah. I already figured that out.
You
read these. Like... I'm sorry, I have to change it to 3.75. I can't live with this. Like, I enjoyed it, yes, but I'm just not... Like, I'm not you, bestie. Like, I can't read smut like that. Like, I just...
I rated
Like, I don't mind reading books that have smut in it. It's just, like, I don't like reading specifically for the smut, because of the smut, whatever.
Good times. Wait until Primal next month.
Oh, Lord. This is gonna make me kill myself, ain't it?
Probably, because it's a Jenica Snow.
Yeah.
No, I rated the same that I rated Desperate Measures and Learn My Lesson, which are my two other favorites in the series. So,
Like, I enjoyed it, yes, but, like, it's not my thing. Like, it is your thing, you know?
yes. We know this, I'm just a whore. Also, so now is when I'll bring up, because we already
Listen,
recorded.
I'm an undercover whore. Be so serious.
True. We both were simping over Malone so hard.
Listen, sometimes I would just have to pause it because the narrator, oh my lord. I didn't lie when I used those emojis. You know it's serious when I'm using that emoji, okay?
I know, I saw that, I went, what the hell is happening? And then I listened and I went, oh, okay, yeah.
Listen, the last time I used that emoji was about Kit Connor.
Valid. Listen, we all know season 2 actually gonna be about the hair scoop, not the arms. That's a lie. I'm still gonna talk about his arms.
Listen, his arms are bigger than they were in the first season, so yeah, we're gonna be speaking about the arms.
Oh,
honestly, everybody's hotter in the second season. It's kind of just panicking the whole way around.
That's illegal.
I know.
What the hell?
Also, I feel like I just need to adjust the fact, yes, I am a lesbian, but yes, I can also realize when people are attractive, like...
Yes. Who is the one you relate to from Heartstopper?
All of them? Which one specifically? Partially to Nick, partially to Charlie, partially to Darcy, like...
Darcy,
partially
that's who it is.
Partially to Tao, like...
No, I was like, I saw this, compilation of, people reacting to Nick, speaking French. Which is, like, my favorite part of the books. And Darcy literally goes, wow, you speak French? And he's like, yeah, my dad's French. And she's like, how long? And he's like, since he was born.
Yeah, that's my favorite part, besides Charlie being like, oh my god.
Ooh, yeah, that was
Since
good.
his birth?
I also love how the
way he delivers the lines, too. Like, Kit Connor, my beloved.
That boy, anyways,
I'm like only a few months further than him, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. The next episode is already recorded. So hear me out. The only episode for this month that we could record while I'm at Bessie's, if I want to do a special guest episode, is the Kraken Smut. I already
because there would be no special guest during the Mardar episode.
No.
I'm sorry.
So
that is get kept.
Okay. So I texted Bestie and I was like, hey, do you want to be a special guest for a Kraken Smut episode? And she laughed, cried emoji, and then said, I don't know, do I? And then her boyfriend said, yes, I do. So he made me our special guest. He made me our special guest. That's gonna be real interesting. I've met him like 4 times. So he did get me a bunch of Christmas presents, and it was very sweet. One of them was a Baby Yoda pancake maker. Good times. I don't know if you know this, I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd.
Yes, we know.
Literally, if we do it, I was like, what should the intro be? And then I was like, well, if we do that, Stingray has to do their intro first. And then it'll be me. And then I'll be like, Kenny. And then I'll be like, yes, both of us are fucking nerds, so now you're outnumbered.
Hear me out. I'm
remember.
upset because I was gonna say something and I can't remember. And I knew it was, like, funny, important, whatever. Okay. I think it has something to do about... I don't know. I know it was related to your bestie's boyfriend or something. I don't know what I was going to say.
Yes. Who has agreed to help me force Bestie to watch The Arrival, so when we record that episode, I can give Bestie's opinions about it. I literally went, I know it's a sci, because I told her, and I was like, listen, this is gonna happen. And she was like, yeah, he told me. I'm worried. And I went, listen, it's a sci-fi, it's got, like, a little bit of a confusing thing going on, but Book Bestie, I forced to watch it, and they had a good time. So,
Ebener.
it'll be fun. And she went, okay. She just accepted it. I showed her Velocipaster, and she has watched it 2 times without me now. So, like, at this point, I think she'll let me force her to watch anything.
I mean, I would hope so at this point in y'all's friendship.
I mean, I got her to watch Star Wars. I didn't get her to watch Lord of the Rings, though. Kenny was the one.
You're never gonna get me to watch either of those. I'm so sorry. Okay, the only way you can get me to watch either of those is once we've been friends for at least 4 years.
A decade. Oh.
Yeah, decade sounds better, but I was being nice with 4 to 5 years.
I was saying decade because I was like, the chances of us being still alive in a decade? I don't know about that.
Whoa! I can't help to say, I was gonna say wow, but like, you're right. My body's failing.
Not the cat. Alright, do you have anything else to say before I stop the recording?
I'm eating a graham cracker.
I believe in you. I'm gonna go eat some chips and salsa, so I'm gonna leave you.
This cat.